Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, as we learn from St. Augustine, Doctor of the Church, while we read his book, Confessions. Welcome, Catholic pilgrims. Thank you for joining me today. We are reading from Book 10, Chapter 19, on page 225. When, therefore, the memory loses something, and this is what happens whenever we forget something and try to remember it, where are we to look for it except in the memory itself? And if the memory offers us something else instead, as may happen, we reject what it offers until the one thing which we want is presented. When it is presented to us, we say, "This is it," but we could not say this unless we recognized it, and we could not recognize it unless we remembered it. True enough, we had forgotten it. Or could it be that it had not entirely escaped our memory, but part of it remained, giving a clue to the remainder? Because the memory, realizing that something was missing and feeling crippled by the loss of something to which it had grown accustomed, kept demanding that the missing part should be restored. Something of this sort happens when we see or think of a person whom we know but cannot remember his name and try to recall it. If any other name but his occurs to us, we do not apply it to him because we do not normally associate that name with him. So we reject all names until we think of the one which corresponds accurately with our normal mental picture of the man. But how can we think of his name unless we bring it out from the memory? For even if we recognize it because someone else prompts us, it is still by our own memory that we do so, because we do not accept it as a fresh piece of knowledge, but agree that it is the right name, since we can now remember it. If the name were completely obliterated from our minds, we could not remember it even if we were prompted. For we do not entirely forget what we remember that we have forgotten. If we had completely forgotten it, we should not even be able to look for what was lost. After 24 years of military life, I've met a lot of people. As the years go by, I've noticed that I'll see people on base and think, "Oh, I've met you before. Where have I met you before?" And so my brain will start scanning every place that we've lived, trying to recall who that person is. Sometimes I land on where I've met them, and sometimes I can draw out their name, but other times I can't figure it out. But here's a funny story about someone forgetting me. So back in 2013, I helped teach a class for VBS at St. Dominic's Church in Charlottesville, Virginia. I helped teach like the kindergarten class with another lady. So for an entire week, this lady and I spent several hours together teaching. And we talked while the kids were off doing something else. We ate lunch together. In my mind, we kind of bonded. Well, about a month later, I was at church and I saw her coming down the steps. And so I walked over to her with a smile on my face, ready to say hi and chit chat. But I could tell that she had no idea, no clue, zero clue who I was. And I could just tell by her face and the way she looked at me that nothing was ringing a bell for her. So I just awkwardly pretended that I was just casually saying hello and went about my business. Anyway, I couldn't believe it. She had completely forgotten me. St. Augustine says, quote, "Something of this sort happens when we see or think of a person whom we know but cannot remember his name and try to recall it," unquote. Well, in my case, the lady didn't even recall ever seeing me. As St. Augustine said, the memory of me was obliterated. Oh, I have to laugh about it now because it is a bit humbling. I obviously made no impression whatsoever, but we can't keep everything stored away. Or maybe we can, and we just don't know how to retrieve it. But we will pause here for today, Catholic pilgrims. I'll talk to you soon, but until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.